we go. Indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me again on this beautiful day. I have a good view today, if you will. It's a little bit more open. I naively felt the wind. I walked outside getting ready to stream, and I was like, no wind today, no clouds today. I can go into the middle of nowhere and stream, into an open area and stream. And I literally put down my little streaming tripod. I put in the cell phone, and then the wind was like, hello, oh, you're just talking about us? Yes? You thought we weren't gonna show up to the party? Little did you know we show up to every single party, Mel. Never not gonna show up to the parties. I felt a little bit nauseous. Like directly after I finished up getting ready for the stream, this bout of nausea came over me as well. and the wind kind of pushed me over the realization again that this is just resistance, you know. There's just gonna be resistance no matter what we do, what we choose to do, how we choose to see the world. There's going to be this resistance that we're still going to have to meet face on. And it is going to sometimes, you know, try and get the best of us. Just have to try and keep our heads above water as much as we can. Ethereum or Aiden, I think K-Vol was your first. Thank you for the silver. Hey, beautiful. I'm traveling right now. Pleasure to feel your energy as well, K-Vol. Thank you, my friend. The wind will always get you, lol, dude. I'm not gonna win, dude. I'm not gonna win. Like, I think, again, like with this, I know, YouTube friends, please don't leave. I love you. I'm sorry about the audio quality. You know, like the part of myself that gets like a little bit cringed is the fact that this footage is basically unusable, you know, from an editing perspective. I genuinely believe that this would be possible as well, that there is some sort of AI tool that can just cut out, you know, wind noise, hopefully soon. Yeah, Jovan, thank you for joining us, my friend. It's so nice to have you here. How are you feeling, Jovan? How's your house coming along? Is it getting to the point where it's now cold and you get to work inside again? To you friends who don't know, Jovan actually bought herself a house this year, and she's been renovating it. I wanted to say by herself. She's the one doing it, but she's had help of her dad and her uncle, you know, in doing so. And I was curious as well, you know, about how that goes. Like, interestingly enough, as I was typing my message to her, I said to her, like, it must be both fun and tense, you know, working with dad on a project like that, having to stay inside. And then I was like, you know, you're just projecting, dude. Stop saying tense. Just say it must be fun working with dad. And then I typed the message, and then she tells me, like, she's been working with him, like subtly, you know, unbeknownst to him, showing him that love is true, you know, regardless of the fact that he might not be seeing the things in the same way. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly how we can do it. We don't have to be abrasive or forcing. All we have to do is be loving. Ugh, I think that things flow from there. Jovan, you inspire me, friend. I hope you know that. Goobity oobity goo. Whoa. Goobity oobity oob. I get oobity oob oob. Oob oops. Oob oob oob. I agree completely, oobity oops. How are you doing, dude? How are you feeling, man? You're telling me you're going on a... What am I trying to say? Going on a trip? No, you're not going on a trip. Going to go and see friends? Gonna have like a band night or something? You must be excited as well, Gab. Me and Gab had a conversation, and like, I guess this is a good time to share, you know, what I've been feeling about this. And like, Sober October is coming up closer and closer, and like yesterday I shared, I felt this intimidation of not being able to do it, you know, and how I was dealing with that intimidated feeling, if you will. And a part of that intimidation doesn't come from, or comes from, I would rather say, this perspective that maybe in stopping, I realized that it isn't something that always serves me well. You know, and this might be controversial to say. It's like, what, Melt? everybody starts lighting their pitchforks. Like, what the? Yes, lighting their pitchforks. I mean, if you're gonna go hard, you might as well have flaming pitchforks as well. Because, and this is something that Gob also told me, like, the thing is, for me, weed can do so much, you know, it really is something that helps me a lot, it helps me articulate. But with that knowing, with the fact that it helps me articulate in some scenarios, I think that maybe if I'm going to continue smoking weed indefinitely, I won't be doing so personally, if I'll be doing it indefinitely. Like, if I'm going to be smoking, it's gonna have to be something that's social, like me doing something with friends. And I don't know why it is I'm intimidated by that. I feel like, again, it is just this perspective of, oh, there's gonna be something lost of me, you know, if I don't have this thing that I'm used to having, if I don't do this thing I'm used to doing, then who am I, if you will? And then there's the other side of realizing that, oh, I am not this, and then being like, oh shit, knowing who you're not might be even more trippy than not knowing who you are. I want to fix too much that is realistic. Unfortunately, Edmund, that is the case for me as well, my friend. Like, Edmund is basically replying to today's title. Day 265. No, day 266. What do you want to fix? Or what would you fix? What will you fix? What can you fix? But this question is more asked from the perspective of, you are an extremely powerful being, and you have the ability to shape time, space, and matter, you know, around your fingers. What's the first thing you fix, friend? What's the first thing you fix? I think if I was, you know, that powerful, the first thing I would fix is the illusion of separation. I would fix it, or maybe, I don't know if you can fix that, but I would try and fix the idea within each and every single being's head that it is not separate from the whole, that it is very much a part of the whole, and its actions influence the whole. I think if everyone just instantly had that understanding about our reality, world peace will ensue shortly after. Oh, but that's just my naive, egoic perception, though. What do you friends think? And if you could pick one thing, what would you try and fix, Edmund? Like, no, I agree completely. There are too many things that for us to want to fix. But in picking one, and each of us picking one, we can fix everything. How about that? Hello, Mr. Moneybags. I don't think that was exactly the point, Gob, but yeah, I mean, Mrs. Moneybags, your bot works as well. We'll manifest for Jovan, Mrs. Moneybags. No, Mrs. Win, please, my poor audio quality. The YouTube friends are like, I love them so much, I don't want them to suffer. Being like, oh goodness, the quality is so bad. I know, I'm gonna wait for the wind to pass a little bit before I attempt rolling. And as we wait for the wind to pass a little bit, I want to read something we're saying. Oh goodness, no! Oh, damn it, this one is like one of those that really kind of beats you to the ground, because this is again exactly within alignment of what I just said about the ability to change within each being's mind, the idea that they're not separate. And then today's thing we're saying goes, if God, who becomes you, held the thought, I certainly cannot separate myself from myself, that would be a limitation. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Can you see this? I hope so, but what the oh no, I shouldn't curse. Oh man, so many goosebumpers. Okay, so like I was, oh man, this is just like taking me for a spin now actually. I was asking, and Edmund, you know, brought my attention to it as well. With today's title, what would you fix if you could fix anything? And then I took the stance, like this fixing of things, you know, you're taking from the perspective of being all-powerful. You have the power to do anything, the power to fix anything. And then in my power, if I had this power, I decided to fix separation. Yes. And then the first thing I read, the very first thing I read is, if God, who becomes you, held the thought I certainly can't separate myself from myself, that would be a limitation. And it's because you cannot be limited within infinity. Okay, thank you. Now I know that I do not know. Like, this is, again, it just shows to me how stupid I am. Oh my goodness, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. Thank you for the help of the tears. I love you, my friend. Me too. I appreciate you sharing your helpful with me, friend. Hello, humans. Unamused jester. Hello again to you, friend. I have, unfortunately, forgotten your name. It's been like a week or something, friend. Thank you for joining us again. Please do remind me again if you want me to remember. Unamused jester works as well, if it works for you. Gob, I'm gonna story about that one day. I look forward to that story. I look forward to watching you grow into that story. Jovan, Mrs. Moneybags. Yes, Mrs. Moneybags. It sounds like a surname. Mrs. Moneybags. Yes. She will be Mrs. Moneybags. Hey, Roham. I don't know what your symbol means, but I'm gonna assume it means love. Thank you, friend. Love to you as well. Hope your day is coming. Well, is this really Meltmore? Or is this a Meltmore lookalike? There are Meltmore lookalikes? I mean, yay. Hopefully one day I'll have stunt doubles. Well, you're like, what are you gonna do stunts for, Meltmore? I don't know just yet. Maybe we'll make an action movie. An action movie where I have finger guns. And my finger guns shoot people with the overwhelming incentive to go to their mom and thank her for raising her. If they don't have moms, the defaults to going to dad and thanking him. Don't have dads, defaults to any parental figure ever had in that person's life and goes and thanks them. Just walking around with these finger guns, incapacitate people by love. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could have a stunt double for something like that. Flying through the air, shooting love, falling onto the ground, and then I can just get up from the ground. You know, the person flying through the air, falling on the ground was my time. I'm gonna stop. It's hard to remind myself that I'm not able to fix everything I wish I could. It's kind of crippling thought sometimes. Edmund is, I mean, it's not exactly, you know, something to base or model your life around, but it was a post that I saw yesterday that kind of resonated with me. And it was almost like an adaptation of a prayer, where it goes, Lord, giveth me coffee to change the things I can, and weed to accept the things I cannot. And I was like, wow, I do kind of like that. Oh, it can be crippling sometimes, Edmund, but know that we have one another now, friend. Like, it's no longer us, like a me, if you will, versus the world. It can be now us as a collective standing together against the world of negativity that we see. It's Chris Pratt, don't worry about it. It happens sometimes, yeah. Chris Pratt grows out hair, gets himself Hawaiian shirts. Is this a Hawaiian shirt? I don't really think so. Gets himself scarves and mushroom necklaces. Just to play the character. I would love to see that though. Oh goodness. Hopefully I can do a Star-Lord cosplay and Chris Pratt can do a Melt cosplay. Okay, I'm holding onto this piece of paper. I'm not writing an intention down. I want to write separation because I wanna feel what that intention feels like. But it bothers me. That's the thing, you know. kind of has this resistance inside of myself. The opposite of separation is unity. Technically, within unity, there is the opposite, separation, as well. So I could keep both in my mind. But I'll write down unity. Unity. Is that a ganja bud? It is a ganja bud, in fact, my friend. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but it is a ganja bud. I don't think I'll be smoking the entirety of it, because it is a little bit big, but we'll smoke bits of it. Darth Zombies, thank you for joining us again, my friend. Starting day 4 of fasting. It's getting better and I'm starting to have more energy. Autophagy is a wonderful thing. Oh yes, Darth Zombies, I'm so happy to hear you're fasting, man. Day 4, fortunately, is where it eases out of the difficulty, if you will. You got this, my friend. Keep going. And autophagy, to you friends who are wondering what that word means, is basically the act of your body eating itself. But it starts with all of the useless things, if you will. It starts with the stuff that your body doesn't necessarily need or benefit from keeping around. And then as soon as you go into a fasting state, your body realizes, oh shit, we do not have the resources to continue duplicating our, cells haphazardly. We have to take into consideration what is important, because we have only a limited amount of energy. And then in making the decision, your body becomes more efficient in using energy, and then in becoming more efficient to use energy, it also identifies and eliminates, oh goodness, some of my weed is blowing away, eliminates dead things out of your own body. It is indeed very good stuff. Highly recommend. Like, don't take my word for it, just go look up for yourself. What does fasting do for the body? Interestingly enough, and I was talking to my brother yesterday about this, all religious practices have some sort of fasting in them as well. There is something intrinsically, potentially spiritual about fasting. It's this pursuit of self, almost. You're literally eating yourself as well. So, Lynn, good morning to you, my friend. Joe Bot story time. I'm in. Hi, Mel. Hey, Mammy. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Sing the damn song. Don't tell me what to do. Thank you for the love, though, my friend. For the hard work and for the energy you're giving me. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for joining us. I think Sing the Damn Song is another streamer friend. I think so, right? Are you? I might be confused, but I think so as well. Nonetheless, and our unity joint has been rolled, just like that. I'm sorry about the wind. Last time I'll apologize. Red Clicker, good day, Mel. Goosebumps, day 1. Goosebumps day. Thank you for joining us, my friend. It's so nice to have you here. Much love to you as well, Kira. Thank you for the helpful others for Vivek. Yes, I appreciate your love as well, my friend. Sing the damn song with all the feel-good awards. Thank you again, my friend. I feel like completely changing the way we educate in the world would help solve most other problems. I agree, but I feel the unfortunate thing about my agreeing is that I'm agreeing on the basis that me and you both share the same understanding, about education, about what is important within education, and what can help as education, right? Like, to better the entire world. And unfortunately, that definition is going to differ between every single individual person, including the actual children that need to get educated. So again, it's one of those very difficult ones to just be like, yup, just do this and then everything is going to be good, because unfortunately it does not work like that. Nothing And now I'm here, women in a van, and now you're appreciated and loved, my friend. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing? Matthias says, it's crippling. It really sucks, because all I think about sometimes, how could I fix or make things better in the past? You see, Matthias, that question, dude. Like, I'm happy that you added the rest of it, because that last statement, how do I make things better in the past? You know, like going through your own head, your own mind process of being like, oh, then I did this and then I did that, and I shouldn't have done this and I shouldn't have done that. I wish I did this differently. You'll go on forever. And I'm so happy that you're bringing that up as well, Matthias, because this is something I wanted to talk about, but I didn't know how to segue into it. So thank you, friend, for co-creating with me. Last night during meditation, I had a very strange experience, like a dissociative experience, where I was in my meditative state witnessing, you know, some of the stuff that happened to me in the past, some of the stuff that hurt me, some of the stuff that was completely neutral. Like I was like at one point during this imagination or whatever, I was like at my old school, and I was legit just walking from the hostel to class, and I was experiencing that entire experience, if you will, and I felt so alone. I felt so alone. Goosebumps again. Like I was surrounded by people. There were so many people, and yet I felt completely alone. And I was like, damn, I didn't think about this like this before. Why now? And then the more like memories I went through and the more stuff I was feeling and thinking about, I kind of realized there was this theme, you know, underlying all of the things I was going through, where it was this almost accepting, and I want to say discarding, which is a weird thing to say as well, of old memories, of the things that I have attached myself to or become overly invested in, or what I've seen. And it created this sense within me that it doesn't matter. And it was weird, because as soon as I said that to myself, I was like, but of course it matters. It is what led you to being here. It's what led you to doing what it is you're doing now. And then I started judging myself, you know, and saying that. I'm like, oh yeah, but what about this? What about that? And I got to a point where I was talking to myself about high school, and I was like, oh yeah, you could have done so much better, you should have studied, you could have gotten good marks, and I was going through this again, like as you were saying as well. I was fixing, you know, the things that I did wrong, and as I was fixing the things I did wrong, new problems basically showed up, and it was almost like I was pushing myself in a new direction. And as I was fixing this stuff and I got back to, you know, graduating with the perfect marks and everything that I needed, I went to university because I wanted to, if you will. I could still, and I was still, you know, accepted into university, but I was accepted by the pretense that I was going to have to pay for my own schooling. And I was like, I'd rather, you know, continue doing something on my own than going to school in that way. But if I performed even better, if I was even more invested into my schoolwork, that would not have been a possibility in my mind, you know, to not go and study. And then I realized, oh shit, if I did things quote unquote correctly, I would not be where I am right now. And even though they don't matter as much in the moment as they did in their moment, they don't matter almost at all to this current moment. They have obviously shaped the person I am today, and without me going through those moments, I wouldn't be where I am right now. But in reminiscing and going back to them and like over analyzing and being over invested in them, I'm literally stealing from my current moment in a way that is not only stealing from the enjoyment of the moment, but I would literally, quite literally, fundamentally be stealing this moment if I could change anything in the past. Like, think about that. You would literally just steal, like, if, for instance, oh, there's one thing I did wrong. Then you instantly undo thing you did wrong, and your entire life changes. You find yourself in a different place, surrounded by different people, in a different home. Everything changes. Trying to change our pasts and our minds is stealing from ourselves in two different dimensions. And upon realizing that, upon feeling that as a truth, I was like, okay, so now what next? What am I supposed to do with this information? How am I supposed to consolidate or integrate this information? And then it like kind of went in the opposite direction, where I was projecting again into the future, where I was like, okay, well, the past doesn't matter, you know, and like the conclusion I've come to, so the future obviously must. And then I was, you know, going through this trip of, oh, will I be able to afford a living? Will I be able to ever get myself a car to drive? Will I be able to take care of my mom and my dad when they're no longer able to? Would I be able to give to my brother the computer he needs? Would I be able to give to my sister the drawing tablet that she's been asking for but, you know, hasn't been getting? Like, I was going through all of these, you know, what ifs, could I, is it possible, na 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 na. And I realized again within that this is, you know, not the point. None of it's the point. How I'm living right now in that moment. And it literally felt like my consciousness was somewhere else, being projected forwards, being projected backwards. And then when I realized where I was sitting, I was getting emotional just thinking about that. When I realized where I was sitting and where I am and how much I've been through to be where it is I am. We don't have to be anywhere other than where we are, friends. That's the point. It can be so simplistic that we don't want to accept it, but oh, I really feel like that. I'm getting so distracted and emotional just thinking about it as well. Friends, thank you for being here with me right now. I appreciate you so much. Love to your sister. Infinite love. Infinite love to all of you. If everyone was provided a good education regardless of income, and we also taught the concepts of love and what we talk about here, things could be so different. That I agree with completely, Edmund. Like unequivocally, my friend. Long story short, I got it for the price of a used truck because it was basically a dead house, ton of work, and it's alive! Yes, I'm so happy to hear that. Jovan literally walked into what could be seen as a corpse of a house, and then her radiant being just like the life that is Jovan bled into that house and is becoming alive with her as she continues to give her energy to it as well. Aiden says, that's really cool. I've been wanting to get property to build a house. That's awesome. We will, Aiden. We will. In due time, we will, my friend. I believe this 100%. Acceptance is such a beautiful but important practice. Acceptance is such a beautiful but important practice. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, Edmund. I love the angle you have of the sun. Thank you. It looks like I am giga ideaing right now. Yes. Come to me, ideas. Boom! It was unintentional as well. Like I kind of set it up with the belief that it was going to go under or behind those trees, because now my shot is just absolutely blown out and I'm already feeling that one friend that's so triggered, like, how dare you? But we already have wind noise, so I mean, if I can have wind noise over my footage, I might as well have bad footage as well. Me just embracing the chaos. I shouldn't, I'm sorry. I'm impressed by you, Jovan. Me too. God, she's an absolute inspiration, man. So beautiful. If I could fix anything, I would fix nothing. I try not to believe in correct paths. I see the world like clouds. So such things as a cloud that needs, no such thing as a cloud that needs fixing. Very good point as well, Aiden. And like the thing we're saying kind of slapped me around literally with that as well. It was like, if you could fix things, there would be limitation. You cannot have limitation. You cannot even generate limitation if you wanted to. Good morning, you beautiful Uncle Becky. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Uncle Becky is also a streamer friend, as is Woman in a Van as well, friend. Agree with this. Acceptance has been the hardest lesson I've learned on Earth, but such a needed coping tool. Yeah. Life is like, oh wait, dude. hear something you love. Oh, something I love. Yeah, how about it? You know it's gonna go away eventually, right? It's like, no, I don't want to think about that right now. Oh, it's the thing I love. And then the universe comes and like, whoop. You're like, oh. It's like, accept it. You have to accept it. Just like loses his shit, right? Each and every single one of us, because of the loss we've experienced. And then we cry and 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 we're devastated. But if we stay in that state, then the universe isn't going to feel comfortable with giving us another thing to love, right? Part of loving things means losing things as well. And accepting that can be a very difficult lesson indeed. You're completely right, Kira. No, you, Uncle Becky. Aunt B is here as well. Good morning to you, my beloved friend. So, we've rolled the Unity joint today. And I'm going to light it. Unity and separation are also united and inseparable. Yes? No. Yes? No. I don't know. That was a great stream, Uncle Becky. It was, Uncle Becky. Interestingly enough, I want to tell you this as well, because I think you would like to hear this. Just before I went the little plus button on my stream, it opened up to your stream, and your upvote count was exactly 777. And I was like, thank you, universe, for reminding me that I'm in sync, that Uncle Becky is in sync. And then I went live, you know, with that knowing, with that feeling. So thank you, Uncle Becky, for that. Even though it was our Reddit friends that had the influence in that were doing so, or were the ones upvoting. You know what I'm saying? Hello, again. Mammy really just makes sense. Unfortunately, not to the right people. Yeah, unfortunately. MVP in the house. So many people every day, lol. It has been a little bit intimidating, it's insane. I've not been caught up to comments within the first like 20 minutes of streaming for the last week. I think we've gone front page every day for the last week or something. It's much, but it is very appreciated. Thank you, Reddit and friends, for sharing this space with me all the time. I'm forever the optimist, hoping things will change and we will one day get the leaders we need and deserve. I am 100% that optimist as well, Mammy. I think we're going to be the ones that are going to have to shape those leaders as well. Great the snoodoodle? Are you talking to women in a van? I think so, probably. The snoodoodle. I actually like that. Good one. It's insane. You wore the same shirt yesterday. Ew. Yeah, I didn't. But, I mean, what is ew about it exactly? That there might be a little bit more sweat and dust particles attached to it? Right? We think of things as ew in such relative terms, dude. Right? There are arguably a bunch of ew things on this planet. Right? We can say that. Now, zoom out and look at the planet from, you know, the perspective of having this planet in your field of vision as like a small ball somewhere there. See what I mean? All of the ew and all of the wonderful is contained within that little ball. It's the exact same thing for you, my friend. Ain't no such thing as ew. This isn't the same shirt, you know, like I'm arguing for something that doesn't even make sense for arguing, but yeah, it's okay, dude, don't worry about it. Oh, absolutely, and I'm so happy you were able to accept acceptance. That's a good one as well. I caught you and the sunrise a couple of weeks ago, so I was trying to fall asleep and not having any success. Thoughts circling around and down as thought to a drain. You calmed the thoughts and finally drifted off to sleep for the first time in days. I'm suffering from a health issue at present. Just wanted to drop in and say thanks. Siamese, thank you, my friend. That's beautiful. I love you. I hope you know that I'm sending you so much more love as well. Thank you for letting me know that, friend. I really do appreciate it. Oh, how many did you draw? Is the page full now? I think it may be 5 spaces left. Ooh. Ooh, so the next stream, maybe it's going to be filled up. You and me both. I still believe we're getting really close. I think so as well. I have to go out. Bunch of things I need to get done in the morning, sadly. But see y'all in the VOD. video on demand. Is that what it means? The stream afterwards? Love you, Sensei. See you. Thank you for joining us, my friend. And thank you for watching now as well. If you are, I'm trying to be meta. Sorry, I'm gonna stop. Yeah, happy to hear sending healing vibes, my friend. Truly hoping you heal and can find an end to this pain you're in. Thank you for sending love as well, Kira. Melt is great for calming and soothing the soul. His happiness is contagious. When Melt laughs, I laugh. It's good, isn't it? You're so loved, Mammy. Thank you for sharing the love as well, my friend. Take care. My words, your words, my friend. Your works and your words. It's all you, friend. You're it. You're it. You just have to realize that. Oh, so close. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. All credit goes to Aunt B for always encouraging me. I couldn't do it without her. Like it brings so much hope and joy into my heart to see that as well, Uncle Becky. You have no idea. You and Aunt B are 100% like couple goals. I think that's the word, right? Couple goals? Yeah, the ideal, if you will. I mean, and Uncle Becky and Aunt B is like, oh, Melt, you don't even know. I know I don't know. But I know that you're loving one another, you know. That's what I do know. I can see that so clearly, so evidently. And if anything, that's what I hope for as well. Unity. Peace. Love. Unity. Respect. Peace. Love. Unity. There's a track at the back of my head, and as soon as I said unity again, like I remembered it. It was like, oh, it clicks in right here. Hey friend, you make a great team. Oh, absolutely. So much positivity today. My heart is full. Take it to your heart. Know that love is true. Women in a Van. It makes me so happy every single day. Like, it's sometimes unfathomable. Like, my mind is like, wait, what? What's happening exactly? How much love? How many people do I know are aligned with love? Is this true? Am I hallucinating? Maybe. We might all be hallucinating. We're technically hallucinating our realities as we're seeing it right now. And you're like, what do you mean, Melt? I mean that the information that's being inputted into your brain is very limited and does not paint the full picture. So the picture you see is literally an illusion constructed by your brain. Because if you could see all of it, you just fall back. You'll be like, oh, excuse me. Oh goodness, there's way too much of it. Like, me and my friends like talking about the advent of cybernetics, being able to upgrade oneself in ways that you would, you know, gain more visibility. Like, if you want to do yourself a favor, just want to see the world through a different lens that is really cool, go look up infrared photography. Why can't I say that word? Photography. There we go. Yeah, it's amazing. It looks alien. You're looking at the same planet, and yet it looks completely alien. And there are animals that see that way, and that's their realities. And that's one of the realities. Being able to see all of it and then overlay all of that information on top of it, I think it would be too much. I think if you were able to see all of that information, you would have to take it in sections. But I might be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. We'll have to see when we get there. Oh, Toasty, good morning to you, friend. Thank you for joining us, my beloved dude. How are you, man? How are you feeling? I saw something that made me think of you very recently, dude. I think it was a meme or something. Sending you love, man. Uncle Becky, caught your stream for a little bit this morning. Always a pleasure, my friend. It is always a pleasure to be on Haywire Hill. I feel the same, absolutely. Red in here too. I can't see her comments. If you are Red, sending you even more love. I think you were here at least for a bit. There's Javan, same here. We got a double dose. First Uncle Becky, Aunt B, and now Melty. Like, how much more can you ask for? Let me do the own horn a little bit. I love watching Mel take his time rolling the joint It takes a while, but he could roll that in his sleep. I thank you. I thank you so much, Mammy, for your honoring of my slow rolling skills. Like everyone else in the world only find, flaw, and yet you find only positivity. I honor you in that as well, friend. Thank you. It is. It's wonderful when you find someone who can get you out of your head, your pain, whether it's physical, as in my case, or mental. Pain is pain, and it takes you somewhere away from that. I'm not taking you anywhere, friend. If anything, we're just meeting one another right here. And you're like, oh Mel, that's the same thing. I'm like, yeah, but, and again, it is the same thing, but it's the way we think of it. We're thinking of me taking you away from your pain. It feels like I'm robbing you of something. We're transforming it into, we're just being even more present, and in our presence we can notice our pain, and also can notice the love that we have regardless of that pain. You're loved, Siamese. Thank you, my friend, for joining us again, my friend. Genuinely, just thank you. I do love the ARPAN community, so much beauty and love. It is like almost ununderstandable, like being someone who has used the internet since I was like 6 years old. The internet and the people on the internet had a certain flavor. And yeah, like we are definitely of the sweeter flavor when it comes to the people of the internet. And I'm so happy to be here with you, friends. Genuinely, we're bringing love into this world. Know that you're so appreciated. Yes, Lynn, filling up my daily dose of feel-good vitamins. Best people in the world are here. And on Haywire Hill, absolutely. Smoke sesh, let's go. Thank you for joining me, Aiden. Like the wind is not helping. Me not continually smoking it is not helping. But I don't have to worry about it. So easy to say, don't worry about it, but my mind is still, but the audio quality, dude, just, can you relax, please? Just for like a second, monkey. Shakes the cage. Stop shaking the cage, dude. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. I hope you can come again tomorrow. Melt is here tomorrow, same time. I'm here every day, same time. At least we try to be. We have not failed just yet. I don't see us failing anytime soon. Love is so true. How could I not? Cheers, friend. I got a head start, but I'll take another puff for you guys. Thank you, Edmund. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for joining us on this frequency. I am thoroughly impressed. I can't roll a joint, even with help of the little rolling machine. I look like an orang-utang trying to use a hammer. Dude, orang-utangs... That's the way we say it in Afrikaans. Orang-utang. Orangutan is the way you say it in English. Sorry. Orangutans do know how to use hammers, dude. So you can't say that, Toasty. Orangutans can use hammers and saws, especially if they're showed how to. So you have to be even worse than the orangutan with hammer. I'm sorry, I'm just pulling your leg a little bit, dude. I'll teach you how to roll, Toasty. We still have to do that rolling stream where I just continually, like, I'm gonna do it, and I've said I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna do it when I am tasked, if you will, with rolling multiple joints in succession. Then I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna roll 500 joints. Everybody's eyes goes like, excuse me, Melt? No, like maybe 20 joints. I'm gonna roll 20 joints in a row. Watch, look with your eyes, learn. I don't smoke, but the emoji combo is beautiful. It is actually, it's like a person. It's like, seems like they're talking or something. Some leaves that could be seen as like smoke, and then the green love as well. Thanks, y'all. I've lost most of my skin on my lower legs, like 3rd-degree burns, calf to ankle. And since they won't give me painkillers unless you're dying, I've had to look elsewhere. Oh, Siamese. I cannot imagine that pain, my friend. Know that you're loved. Know that you're appreciated. know that I'm sending you so much love. Oh man, I cannot even begin to imagine the pain. Thank you. Like I'm so honored that I can make it better even for a little bit. Are we puffing this morning, Toasty? Toasty is puffing every morning, you know. Nonetheless, I mean, that's a mental image I have now. Me too, very much so. Thoroughly impressed with the joint rolling. I can't find words, but I want to send you so much love. Me too. Like it's devastating just to think about, Kira. I did before work. Love me some melt, love me some red clicker. Thank you, my friend, for sharing the space. You are always so appreciated. Had a rough day, I needed that. Normie Buster, I like your username. Normies. I haven't poured myself a glass of water. Like my lip got a little bit sticky as it gets dry. I'm like, why is this happening? What is wrong with my face? You're thirsty, dude. So, you know what? Instead of saying separation, I'm gonna say away. I'm gonna think about what it means to be away. Not gone, away. Every sip I take. So unity and being away. Away tastes nice. Practice makes perfect. We all had to learn at some point. My first attempt at rolling were something. You'll get there. Mine too, Siamese. My first, maybe like 100 joints. I would take the paper, roll it into the cone, and then I would just scoop it full and pack it down with a pen as I'm going. And then my friends, like I was chilling with my friends and they asked me to roll a joint, and I got my pen out and I did the whole process, you know, shamelessly, and they're just like watching me roll this joint. Then we smoked this joint, and my friend Adam, well, he used to be my friend. I'm still his friend. I just don't think he's my friend anymore. He's like, dude, you have to learn how to roll a joint properly. And I'm like, yeah, my man. And then one day I just did. I was like, okay, if I can roll the cone, I guess it wouldn't be that difficult. So I put the weed in. I learned that you have this way of rolling them together, the little lips of the paper, and that kind of makes the tubular shape. And then I clicked. I was like, oh, okay, it's not too difficult. You got this, Toasty. I believe in you. I woke up late and I didn't miss my people. No, you did not, Infamous One. Even if you did miss us, like as Sensane stated as well, we are on the video on demand. So this space, I believe, you know, is eternal. It stays. As long as you have the ability to access this space is here, if that makes sense. And I think the same goes for the spaces we create up inside our minds as well. You know, the fact that we have access to spaces completely foreign to this reality just behind our eyes is also something that baffles my mind sometimes. Love to you, woman in a van, thank you. Good to see you all today, getting ready to see my mom for her birthday. Stupid anxiety has me stuck in a chair. Oh, Kira, you got this, my friend. I'm sure your mom is going to be happy to see you as well. I do think your mom is still of the living. Your aunt passed away, you told me that. Maybe I'm just thinking about this right now. I don't know if East Coast Rabbit is here just yet, friends. But if you have some love to spare, send some to her as well. Her sister passed after a long battle with COVID recently. She was a nurse herself, an actual hero. Spent her whole life taking care of other people. Sending you love, East Coast Rabbit. Sending you so much love, my friend. Working, but I got it on the side. Sweet mommy. I'm happy to hear that, Red. Thank you for being productive and loving at the same time, my friend. Pre-rolled cones are a great cheat. I'll show y'all a trick for those someday. You can fill one in just a couple of seconds. Are you talking about one of those little containers that you could put the weed up top in and you just kind of scrape it over and just falls into the cones? I've seen one of those as well. It looks really good. You better be right back. The infamous. Okay, yay. I'm thankful Mama gets to be blessed with your presence, a sweet human. I think so as well. Definitely. Melt, Uncle Becky says, I wanted you to know how much you are loved by this world. A light that lifts every soul it encounters. A true blessing to us all. Thank you. We appreciate it. Oh, Uncle Becky, dude. Blindsiding me a little bit. Thank you so much for your loving words, for your loving presence in the streams, in your streams, in this world as well. Ditto, you know, to every single thing you said, my friend, to every single one of you friends. I just love you so much. Thank you for doing the same. Genuinely, Uncle Becky, thank you for doing the same as well. You got this. You have nothing to be afraid of. Truly rock and roll, friend. You rock and roll. Kira, genuinely, you're an absolute pleasure to spend time with, my friend. Think of it in that way. Think of it not as, oh, maybe, you know, this can happen, this thing can be said, and feeling anxious because of that. Be like, oh, I'm gonna go and give myself as much as I can, and even if I give myself in a way that isn't 100% as I intended, you know, even if me giving myself has some flaws, I've still given myself. And it helps alleviate some of the anxiety potentially. We love you, Kira. I really can't stand cigar paper though. I really like hemp paper. Me too, Toasty. It's so nice. And it's also the understanding, the imagination. You're smoking weed encapsulated in weed. It's just another fun thought process. Thank you for the hugs, Infamous One. We love you, friend. We love you. You are a light, Mel. We are the light. We are the light, Red Clicker. Like, legitimately, and this is a line I'm going to steal from Terence McKenna directly. He goes into saying, like, he, as well as I, are not anything special, you know? Like, if I was something special, something more, something other, then everything I say kind of falls through the cracks, right? Because the fundamental belief that I have is that every single one of us is that light. Every single one of us has the opportunity to shine that light onto this world. And if anything, encouraging one another to do that, that is the mission. That is what we're guiding each other to. It's not something to be reached to escape the rest. It's something to be strived for as a collective, as a unity. Hemp paper is the way to go. Team can't roll good joints. I'm sure you can roll good joints as well, Jovan. I mean, like, I've actually, have I seen one of your joints? I saw the Kiki Garrick that you had in the video. I couldn't see the joint even though I wanted to, because now when I show that, or I watch that video, or someone watches the video with me, they don't know what's going on. They're like, what am I looking at? And then they see the beautiful work of art. I hate paper. I only smoke from water pipes. Oh, Red Liquor, I really like water pipes as well. I would like to have one of those water pipes that have multiple percolators. I've seen like a bunch of r/tree posts where people are just like attaching percolators onto percolators onto percolators and then taking hits like that. It looks like so much fun. Sime! I roll joints day long, but I only smoke a blunt if that's my only. Oh, I'll roll joints all day long. Yeah, like blunts for me is something that's very much a special occasion. And the only reason it's fun to me to like smoke a blunt is because I love rolling them. They just have like a certain feel to them as well after you've like finished their construction. It just feels like more girthy joint, both in the paper thickness and strength and the actual thickness, and as a result strength of the actual joint as well. Deep breaths. You got this, friend. Thank you for reminding me as well, B. You got this as well. Melt, do you think this year has been the most personal growth you've gone through thus far in this earthly journey? Yeah, 100% Toasty. I feel so different, and like coming back to what I was talking about a little bit earlier, going through these meditations and like reflections of the past, I feel so different to who I was in the start of this year that it's hard for me to conceptualize that I am the same person that I was a year ago. And then going back even further, the disconnect, if you will, feels even larger. Definitely, dude. I've spent a lot of time growing this year. I think, if anything, the reason I had to grow is because for the first time in my life I was confronted with information to grow. Where for most of my life I spent time only pursuing information that is going to be bias proving, if you will. And coming here, like, surely the bias that I had is that love was true, and I found that bias to be true nonetheless. But I've also experienced so much perspective, you know. I've learned from you friends more than I could ever have tried to learn from myself. And that in its own, you know, is a good reason for how much I've been able to grow. I appreciate you friends for allowing me to do that, for helping me to do that. Like, you're genuinely you're genuinely the ones to be praised. I can't say it enough. You got this. Oh, absolutely. Yes, hemp paper slaps. I don't like using raw rolling papers unless I gotta. Isn't raw hemp as well Ethereum? You have me bamboozled now, actually, dude. I actually thought they were. A burb landed so close to me. It's like 4 arm lengths away. Hello. Hello. Has a little quivering tail. There he flies away. So nice to see them. Small little dinosaurs. I wonder what they think about us. I just think, oh, cute. He must be thinking, what is this abomination? And I'm looking. Oh, peace, love, unity, respect. Fleur to you, Toasty. I used to smoke joints all the time, and I'm pretty good at rolling. Now I mostly use glass, but lately I've been rolling more joints again. Joints are like a nice delivery system where if I'm going to be using glass, like for instance, let's take this stream into example. If I'm going to use glass and I'm going to be smoking this joint, if you will, or the equivalent of the amount of bud that is within this joint, I'm going to have to be putting some weed in, smoking it, then putting it out again, and then starting that whole process over. Where this is, as like me and my friends like to call it, is a one-use chillum, you know, a self-collapsing pipe. Because as soon as it gets to the point where the material is burned, it collapses into a smaller part of itself where material isn't burned, and then you can continue doing that until you have no more collapsible joint left. Collapsible pipe left, yes. Unity joint. Oh man, I love you friends. When he said unity, I heard Dave Chappelle say it, unity. Is that right? With the long unity. 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 Unity it is. Vibes all the way. Are you tagging Gob? I think Gob might already be here. Unless he left again. Fear can literally do 0 to hurt you. It's scary, but you are not your thoughts anyway. Perfectly put as well, Aiden. Sound like someone's blinking. What? Nani? Blinking? What does blinking mean, Toasty? Little plink plink. I'm so confused. Oh man, the question. What do I want to fix? Phew. Many things. Infamous one. A great deal, many things. But if you could choose one, which one would it be? I know it, like, we have to collapse all possible fixings into a singularity, which is difficult to do, but it is possible. In theory, it helps to mix it up right. Kind of hits different. It does. It really does. And it's also, in my opinion, a more smooth / enjoyable smoking experience, where with like a bong or a pipe, only, and literally for me at least, only the first like take or pull is pleasurable, like it's something you would enjoy inhaling. The rest of it, it doesn't taste good or have a good way of I'm trying to explain this. What does it mean? How do you explain this to people? You're like probably like, yes, Mel, we understand what you were saying, dude. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Been thinking about ways to nurture the spirit. Sometimes the light in your eyes doesn't want to shine so bright. And why do we feel guilty when it gets this way? I also don't know, Jovan, and it bothers me that I feel that way as well. I completely understand where you're coming from, where you feel that you have this connection, this capacity to shine light, if you will, and then sometimes this connection, this capacity feels less connected, less bright. And then as soon as you recognize that, because you've had the perspective of light, you feel like you're in a place of darkness. And that place of darkness tosses you even further into darkness, because you're like, oh, darkness. And then instead of realizing you're hurting yourself by being like, oh, darkness, you're like praising this darkness. You should be like, oh, less light. You know, for now, a little bit less light. Maybe it's time for me to contract into myself a little bit. Time to fester that light, you know, dim as it may be within inside of myself. Instead of trying to light other fires with the small ember I have right now. Please. Yes, I just had to say please. Look, all I had to do was say please. She wanted to Judy chop me in the throat yesterday. That's true love. That is true love indeed, Uncle Becky. You could only be Judy chopped by someone in the throat and still love them if you loved them. And we love you, Mel. And I love you, Aunt B and Uncle Becky, Emma and Bobby. And all the beautiful critters on Haywire Hill. Every single one of you. There is only love. Watch what happens when he reads my comment when I said that. Family is love, love is unity, unity is love. Perfectly put, Red Liquor. Thank you, my friend, for reminding me as well from the past. Oh, absolutely. I like to switch up what glass I smoke out of too. I find if I smoke out of the same piece exclusively for too long, I don't get as high. I definitely don't enjoy the monotony as much. So, like, the hippie, if you will, with inside of me, Edmund, is like, the reason you're not getting high anymore because you're smoking for the same pipe is because you're setting less intention. And every single time you choose a new glass piece, there is that intention for novelty, for the opposite of monotony. And then in doing so, you're basically inducing the high that you get within yourself. Like, you're smoking the same plant material, possibly the same, you know, amount of THC molecules. Surely we get some tolerance build up. But because of your intention, because of the reason you're smoking, you experience something that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for your intention. Toasty times 2 from the past. Oh shit, this is like the Spider-Man meme, the pointing one. Yes, I feel that. Self-acceptance is a hard battle to fight. Probably my personal hardest. I just try to make it a day to day and only take myself at the person who I am right now, not who I was or who I will be. It's difficult to do as well, Aiden. It can be very difficult to do that. It's so easy to get caught in either one of them, right? Of who we want to be or who we were, instead of who we are. And sometimes, and most of the time I want to say even, we infer who we are from who we were. And in doing so, to like an excessive extent, we start to feel guilty or lacking, even though we have done good things, even though we have changed, even though we have made progress in our development. We still keep in our memories the things we did wrong, and then we associate ourselves with that version of ourselves, and we're like, oh, you're still doing things wrong. That's true, friends. I have fallen in love with a pipe I bought, and it's been definitely getting a lot of views. Like, I have like 2 wood pieces I'm smoking out of, like my wooden bong and a wooden pipe as well, and I'm switching between the 2. I like the RPAN added. The TV static back to the loading screen makes me feel like I'm watching old school Robot Chicken. Yeah, between each one you have to... I was actually thinking about that. I don't think I experienced it like that at first. You know, ever since I started using RPAN. Rudo! Rudo! Dude! Hoekom is die ding gestart as hy stil staan? Moet jou hier so stel, oh. Oh no! Maar no, Rudo! Why now? Out of all times, why now? Now exactly? Okay. Oh my goodness, what a throwback. Absolutely. Just a new bobbler. Oh, okay. You just got a new bobbler. Is it a nice one? Does it have, you know, a little work of art inside of it? I've seen such amazing bobblers that have like a little creature as the bobbler, if you will, you know, the piece that goes into the water to bubble. I saw this ship bong as well, you know, a glass piece made, or a ship made out of glass with inside of a larger glass piece. And I was like, oh, amazing, just amazing. Couldn't wrap my mind around it. Now we need some triple late night loading screens. Oh yes, I think so as well. Red, share a picture. We need a smoker's chat night. I would like that actually. Yes, that would be really cool. The level of pixelation is actually impressive. I mean, it's sober, bruh. Maybe it can be a little bit of a trip, dude. It can be a little bit 8-bit-ish. Yo, we could totally do that in the Discord. We definitely can, Jovan, 100%. I like all these updates. It's exciting. Me too, like for me too. It's insane. It gives me some hope that, you know, RPAN there is at least someone, you know, looking at RPAN and being like, I'm gonna press a few buttons to make RPAN a little bit better. The updates we've gotten so far has been like the ability to, you know, comment on each other's comments or reply to comments, and now static. But it's hopeful. It's something. Is that weed? Yeah, I'm calling the police. Yeah, I'm afraid it's weed. I have purple kush this morning. That sounds amazing. Infamous one. Enjoy, my friend. Sorry, I'm at work. Working. It's okay, Gob. Thank you, my friend, for coming back. Playing with the poppers. Orang-utang. Yeah, orang-utang. Orangutan. Orang-utang is the way we say it in Afrikaans, Toasty. Hope for the clickable links. Oh yes, hope. That would be amazing as well. You're so right, Aunt B. I like that. If you go to work, do you also go home to home? Freaking Red coming in. Oh, it's women in a van. Yes. Do you go home to home? If you work at home, does home become work? Do you lose the ability to home if home is work? I'm gonna go home to home. I mean, it still works. I'm gonna go at home. That doesn't work. I'm gonna go home? Yes. I am going to home. sounds like someone having a stroke. I'm sorry, that's not a joke. That's not something that's funny. That was just the dark part of myself being like, funny thing that happens to people that is genuine, causes genuine suffering. Hopefully it doesn't happen to me. The Afrikaans pronunciation is way better. Orang-utang. I'm happy you friends appreciate it. I'm happy that I accidentally said it out loud instead of, you know, speaking proper English, if you will. It's insane. I see you're still here. I'm happy that you're still here, man. I have to fix my command bot now, though. So many changes on Reddit has debbed in. Maybe I'll do a stream to teach everyone how to set it up soon. That would be amazing. It's insane. And I mean, you probably know more about the back end of what's changing, so I'm happy that you're also in the know. Dude, just like start working for Reddit, please. You can be our inside coder O. Huh? O means like dude in Afrikaans. Be our coder dude at RPAN. It's insane. Please, dude, please. We're begging you, dude. You got this. I'm still here. Just not in the chat because I'm busy. It's okay, my friend. I want to fix my need for approval from others. I'm better than I was. It's a horrible state to be in. Millie, I agree. You know, and I want to give advice, and I want to, you know, give you something else to hold on to. But I'm just here for you, my friend. You don't need anyone's approval. Not mine. And you know, like, no one's approval can give or take anything away from you either. I think maybe that's something important to remember. You're loved, no matter what. Just know that, Millie. Hold that. I struggle there as well. It can be something that's difficult. Yeah, we could make a new voice chat channel, the Smoke Circle. Yes, we definitely can. That would be amazing. Please do, actually. We have some mod friends here that have the power. I'm down for that. Take your red clicker. Same. Just hop on whenever you're smoking, and friends can join when they see people on. I love that idea. Thank you, friends, for creating this idea. I like what you're saying. What's the name of your cult? We're not a cult, my friend. A cult, you have to be way too involved. You know, we are very involved, if you will. You know, we show up every day, but like, that's the extent that I would force myself to be involved in, if you will. If it comes to the point where we are, you know, completely codependent, where we cannot continue living without one another, and we can convince one another to, you know, kill ourselves, then what's the point? Then it's not aligned with love anymore. So, like, and I think it's such a horrible thing about our society and the way that we've been educated, where cults are seen as such a, like, it can be seen as something that triggers, you know, the feeling of community, or the ability to be able to share this connection with one another without having to be labeled by this thing that in our minds have all of these horrible connotations because of the outliers that had horrible consequences. No cults, dude. Please. Please. That cost lost of time. No, my real job. Oh, you're working 2 jobs, Gob? What's the second job, man? Jovan, did you post a picture of the Kiki drawing? I loved it so much, I cried happy tears. Me too, Toasty. Not just yet, I think she is maybe finishing it. I've posted the picture, I'll put it on r/meltmore. I went in and I started nitpicking again. I get you. I get you completely. Thank you, Jovan. Thank you, my friend. Just thank you. Missed spot things. Yeah. I love the group because you get filled with the energy of people around you. It's nice to kind of go to a vibe, positive place, to go and not worry. Aiden, like, if anything, when you think of someone, when you talk to someone, when you're reaching out to someone, I believe there is an energy exchange happening there. And in the way that we're, you know, coming together now, even though it's online, there is still that energy exchange, the ability to like share love with one another, to share understanding with one another, to share just, you know, the ability to be seen with one another. It's something that's so essential to our human natures. And it's something we've been convinced we don't need, convinced we shouldn't want. And there are these words, you know, like the cult word attached to it to discourage people from ever getting into a community. It's like this sick joke of, yeah, not only is there, you know, suffering in this world where people feel completely alone, but you're also not allowed to not feel alone. I'm like, what? How is this sustainable? Why do people want to continue living that way? Why, if they live that way, do they want to make other people live that way? It's confusing. It makes me sad sometimes. But you friends make me happy, so that's all I can say. Some people drink coffee in the morning. I like a bowl and some melty family love. Perfectly put. Thank you, Edmund, for sharing. Like, I want to like label it something. A cup of melt. Yes, a cup of melt with us. UB, he don't understand our country boy talk. Unfortunately, some things do still go over my head. I am 100% not perfect. I'm very happy to say. Really do love melting with yous. And you too, Jovan, so much, friend. Thank you. Oh, talking about lovely friends. Katie, thank you for joining us as well, my friend. How are you doing? I asked you a bunch of questions yesterday, but I think you might have already left by then. Get in here. Love group hug. Love ma. Katie with the pretty eyes. How's our chica today? I'm curious as well. Katie. We're here for you, my friend. Love to you. I have a gravity bong, the best. So, Like, is it when you say you have a gravity bong, I feel like you're saying it as like a, yes, I have a gravity bong. So I'm imagining like pristine glassware, but all of the gravity bongs I've seen before was like a milk jug with a bowl attached to the plastic cap. So do you have like a really nice one, or is it just a like, I mean, there's no judgment, either one, you know, whichever one it is, but I'm curious now, Infamous One. Thank you for sharing with us. Y'all the best people. Know you. Oh, those are dope. They really are. Smoking without intentions. Ugh, I'm guilty too. You're right, Mel. You're very right. I need to get better at that. Toasty, it happens, dude. It's not something that you're doing wrong. It's just something you could do better, right? You're not doing anything wrong. Like, understand that as well. You're not robbing yourself of anything. You just stand to gain more in doing it. That's the way I see it. Like, you're not losing something. You're just gaining more. Depending on what you're choosing. So setting an intention is just that extra little bit of push, that energy that you want. And it can be difficult. It can be easy to neglect. But for me, at least the one that I've been doing is, like, my intention, usually when I'm smoking by myself, is this. I recognize my unity with spirit. And also sometimes I am grateful for my unity with spirit. And then I use that as my intention. And then, like, with me getting high, if you will, instead of it just being the feeling of getting high, it's the recognition and gratitude of the unity with spirit. And it has this elevating effect about it. The come up of the weed high, if you will, has this new tint to it, this new filter that you've attached over your eyes. I had thought about it in that way, but you're right. Doing the same thing over and over becomes muscle memory, basically, and loses all intentions. Makes perfect sense, yeah. And it's so easy for us to have it as well, dude. It's almost the default. We're built to adapt in that way, to lose intentions, not because we're aligned with evil, just because setting intentions, changing the way we do things, is energetically expensive, if you want to think about it in that way. It takes some doing, it takes some resources, it takes some initiative to set that intention. And that taking of initiative, taking of doing, can be seen as energetically expensive. So getting to the point where you can literally not move 2 muscles and smoke some weed and not think 2 thoughts, that is the most efficient, from a bodily standpoint, monkey standpoint, perspective of how to consume the cannabis plant. But on the other side of it, if you can, be completely present with it, it would be the divine side of trying to consume the cannabis plant. It's at least the way that it makes sense to me in some way. Day at a time, doing all right today. I actually did my makeup today. Katie, you're beautiful with and without makeup, but I know that putting on makeup can be you seeing or finding or exaggerating, maybe is another word, the beauty that you already have, my friend. Know that you're beautiful. Know that we love you. Thank you for sharing with us. Love it. I had it for about 5 years now. Well, like, hats off to you, Infamous One. If it's a glass piece, I'm especially impressed. This is why you do these streams and not me. Edmund, thank you, my friend. Like, I'm so loving to you, friends. Like, this is the biggest honor I could have ever accepted. I look forward to showing up every single day for you, friends. Madison Goker, hello to you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, hi. The roof of my shed is sagging. Should I fix it or just let it be? Well, that's up to you, my friend. I feel the answer is quite obvious. If you leave it be, you might be comfortable for now, but you're going to incur extreme discomfort later. So in realizing that, and in respecting yourself enough, you will discomfort yourself now so that you may experience comfort continuing into the future. Grayish cat? What do you think, friend? I kind of wish I would have been raised with a brother to get in spats with. It sounds fun. I mean, it's not really fun, Toasty. It makes me feel like an asshole, dude. I don't like feeling like an asshole, but I still want to be. I wanted to say I wanted to be a man, and then I was like, fuck gender norms. I know, but it's the. Let's say rather the firm side of myself. No, the standing of guard side of myself. The perspective of saying what I feel, you know, speaking my truth. Maybe that's a way to see it as well, because it like grinds at my brain. So if it grinds at my brain and I let that continue to the point where I'm, you know, frustrated, then it's only going to create more turmoil inside of my being towards him than it would be to feel like an asshole for a short while. Me trying to logic myself out of it as well. Brothers, growing up was both a lot of fun and also scary. I can think, dude. How many brothers did you have actually, Edmund? Now I'm curious. I'm really curious. I wish I could program for RPAN. It would be a wild ride. I mean, Infamous 1, if you know how to program, I do believe that Reddit is hiring right now. I don't know if they're hiring directly for RPAN, but during this consecutive day stretch, have you ever had a commitment that jeopardized the streak? No is not just yet. Like, one thing that you could say jeopardized the stream was RPAN just straight up not working. So we couldn't actually stream on RPAN, but we still did stream on Discord, and we still did take a video for the YouTube. So we definitely did do a stream that day as well. So I'm definitely not going to not count that one, if you will. But like, no matter what happens, and I say that kind of difficultly, like, okay, so let me say why I say it no matter what happens. I genuinely, if I had to like undergo 48-hour surgery, for example, I would make sure there is a streaming camera in that surgery room, or I'm gonna freaking do my stream even if I'm far down under. So in that way, I'm 100% committed, my friend. 100% committed. Love is true, no matter what. I'm gonna get home to not work. Thank you, Infamous One. Gonna go home to going home. Yo, agree, there are ups and downs. I'm like leaning towards this side to block the sun out because it's obstructing my view of the screen. I can't like imagine what I'm like, probably dark. Maybe just chillax. Definitely, and they don't end with childhood. Oh no, they don't. Like, the ups and downs kind of stabilize with getting older a little bit. So the ups and downs of childhood were very like extreme, and then as you get older, the ups and downs kind of levels out. There's still ups and downs, but it levels out a little bit more. Do you agree with that as well, Edmund? I'm curious, man. Such a struggle. It can be. My energy is touching your energy. There's no separation of that energy, my friend. That's the trip about it. It's insane. Your energy and my energy are one and the same. There is no separation. Man, this makes me think of something I said to a friend, Christian specifically. We were at a music festival and I was dancing, and I was like continually dancing, and he came to me and he's like, bro, aren't you tired or something like that? And I looked at him, dead in the eyes, and I'm like, the energy does not come from me. And he's like, what are you talking about, dude? Of course the energy comes from me. And I was like, I'm not sure, dude. I'm not sure it's coming from me, dude. Yeah, we share the energy, and that's insane. We share that energy, my friend. They also probably why I won't stream on RPAN. Oh, that lens. Oh, I like it. Yes, it trips me out. Oh, yes. The entire universe is shaking. Gravity bongs are awesome, but they wreck my throat. Oh yeah, I mean, the smoke isn't exactly cooled down as much as it would be if it went through the water. It's kind of like accumulating on top of the water, using the water as a vacuum, or using the water to create a vacuum. I feel it's held me back for so many things in my life. No, Millie, regardless of how many things you've been held back by, you're not held back by anything right now. You still have all of the freedom in the world. Yes, I like that melt. It's a little glass bottle and bowl on top. It's a special occasion hit for sure, Edmund. I can imagine, Infamous One. That sounds amazing, my friend. I would love to try it someday as well, Infamous One. Thank you for the hugs, Millie. We love you. We genuinely love you. You don't need anyone's approval, know that, friend. I like my little safe bar. For sure, I think last time I used mine was... You put the month first, right? So the 20th of April, that's a while ago, dude, damn. I got it in SF and smoked at the Pacific Ocean for the first time with it. It wasn't real. Ooh. You're saying you smoked at the Pacific Ocean. Did you use the ocean as your means to gravity bong? I have to do that now. Like all of the times I've used gravity bongs or seen gravity bongs used was like either in a pool, like the trash can gravity bong. That's an extreme one. You basically put a bowl in a trash can, like in a hole on top of a trash can. You put that trash can in the water, and then you lift that trash can up as someone lights, and it fills that entire cavity with smoke, and then you're inside of said trash can breathing the smoke. I haven't done that, but it looks extreme and I would like to as well. And now the possibility to use the ocean as the body of water in which you make your gravity bong with sounds so hardcore. Yes, I have bong water, the entire ocean. Humans like to get comfortable. Yes, they do. Yes, they do, Edmund. Yes, they do. And I believe one of the best ways to mitigate some of that susceptibility to become comfortable is to spend time with other beings. Because different beings have different levels or definitions of comfort, and in trying to accommodate other beings, you might find yourself in discomfort, and in that discomfort, you will grow. It definitely is that way. Good one, Edmund. You have to do that one day. Absolutely. Look how the sun is going down beside last. I'm so happy to have it here as well. The sun is definitely an absolutely essential co-creator to today's stream. I'm curious how this one is going to turn out. Like, I haven't shared too much about this with you friends because I don't know how to do it just yet. I know a bunch of you friends are coders as well, so maybe I'll reach out to you. Maybe this is me reaching out to you right now. But I want to create digital data visualized art using these streams as the data. So one day would be a single piece of art. Single piece of art would utilize the video information, influxes, changes, light shifting, actual colors, maybe as a background, and then the actual sound that I'm speaking right now would be amplituded, and then it would create value or weights within the AI as well, and then also actual text. The words that I'm saying would also in some way be visualized inside of this piece. And then I would like to create a single artwork for every one of these Meltmore streams. It's the plan, but goodness, like my mind knows that it's going to have to get its ass kicked. And I also know that if I wait like 5 years, then I'm going to have access to much better AI tools. And it's limiting me a little bit. What do you think? So if you're still here, Insane, maybe this is something to bring to you, man. I would love to. I grew up on the Atlantic Ocean, never seen the Pacific though. It definitely an occasion that will be worthy of a gravity bomb. I couldn't agree more. Oh, it's trying to focus in on the sun. I want to go to the Atlantic next. Well, I actually don't know what oceans we have around South Africa. The Indian Ocean. I think we have partly Indian Ocean, partly Pacific. I'm not sure. should at all. You definitely should, absolutely. I have 2 brothers, 2 years younger and 4 years younger. Okay, so you're the eldest as well, Edmund. Like, when you said scary, I assume that your brothers might be like 6 years older than you or something. That can be scary, definitely. One of them is 2 years younger, though. So that's probably the one you got into the fist fights with, right? At least me and my 2 years younger brother did a bunch when we were young. Edmund is the big bro. Oh, yes, he is. It makes perfect sense as well. Indeed, a blessing and a curse. Oh, thank you for the energy, Infamous One. I appreciate your love, my friend. That would be so badass. I did salt water, and it felt... And I let my rose water out in the trash can. Sounds perfect. The salt water bong hit. I think it's a vibe. You don't smoke filtering with salt water. I think that might be bad for your lungs. Yeah, you might actually be right, Toasty. I mean, so the analytical part of my mind tells me that it wouldn't be bad for me, because like technically the salt molecules would be way too heavy to actually attach to any of the smoke and then be carried up with it. But I might be wrong, you know, and I'm very much, you know, willing to accept that as well. Glad I got to experience it. Lamar, rip. That's insane. Share. I could be wrong though. I know nothing. Me too, Toasty. Like, I brought the other side of it. Maybe we're both wrong. Maybe like it both doesn't lift salt molecules and does lift salt molecules, you know, in both. Neither of those scenarios. And maybe it's like the bacteria that's in the water gets attached and then the bacteria lands on your lungs or something like that. And then there's the question of, oh yeah, but the smoke is going to be hard. Let's not get into it. We don't know. It's probably going to be something that's Googleable. Is that the way you say it? Googleable? Can you use salt water in your bong? I mean, I'm pretty sure someone have asked that question before. No, you're right, Toasty. Maybe. You've got the Indian Oceans and probably Atlantic on the west side. I think so as well. Yeah, probably. You're right. Thank you, Edmund. And thank you, friends, for sharing the space with me, for being here with me for as long as you were. I genuinely appreciate your presence. The love you choose to share, the genuine way you co-create with me. It means more than I can say. But you friends know. Plankton is just chilling in my lungs now. Now they're getting the Krabby Patty recipe. Dude, like in that scenario, unfortunately, Toasty, your lungs is gonna have to be the Krabby Patty meat, dude. Your actual lungs. No, we can't go there. I love you, friends. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.